Good evening, race fans. Good evening, world. This is not Marky B, as you can easily tell. This is Spiffy G instead. We are ready to start season 2 of the Wednesday Night Classics series featuring the AMG 71 Stumble Pig, the 300 SEL 6.8 one-off kind of race car that was made famous God knows how. Anyway, we're ready to kick off the race. This is an impromptu dealio, so just getting my feet in. Here we go. The race starts. We've got Weissenberg on the pole. James standing second on the front row. Spinny on the second row with Turbo Nova. Now Archie Scott Brown comes around. Oh, drops back momentarily. Turbo Nova's in fourth. Half the cars are off the track. Everybody's back on. Looks like most of the cars have managed to keep their hardware on. Here comes James down to Eau Rouge. And up the Radillon. Oh, look at that. So much speed. Looks like Matt ran a little wide there. Now we're going 2 by 2 down the Kemble Straight. Matt MacGyver in fifth with Archie Scott Brown close to his tail. Turbo Nova picks up the second penalty. Vice comes around James, but he's going to have to give that spot back. And Spinny goes around James as well. Turbo Nova still facing a penalty coming up. We got Matt and Archie Scott Brown in a heavy battle. However, Archie's just picked up a second and a half. He's going off at least twice. Matt's looking good with all of his newly made decals. Archie Scott drives back to 6th. Marky B is in 7th. Oh, and Archie Scott Brown goes wild around the curve and jumps off. He's probably going to pick up another penalty for that one. Did somebody else pick one up too? No. Yeah, looks like Klaus picked one up. So Klaus is a half second down coming up. Cars are just getting wild and unsprung. So Matt's on the mediums, as is Marky B. They decided to go on a long stint. So did Vice and James. James was on pole. He's decided to Turbo Nova goes into the grass, trying to take a little bit off his braking there. Smart move. Apparently, if you go off of the grass partially, it can help speed you up to those penalties. It's just a thing that I picked up from the old internet. All the cars are safely around. Everyone's served their penalties. Hopefully not getting any more. The deep blue goes way off. Not sure if you pick one up there. I think not. I think they're in the bus stop safe. So when you come around here, you start running into problems. Oh, James gets loose. Middle pack coming around. Everybody's through cleanly. At that point, Archie Scott Brown makes it through all the way down to 9th after that penalty. And Marky B just bringing up the rear in his rusty mobile. All right, Vice gets through Eau Rouge and Radillon on up to the Kemble Straight. Into the hard braking zone we go. Vice on those medium tires, Spinny's on the softs. So one might expect, if his tires are still good after 2 laps, that he should be able to pick up the pace in the round events. Right, we have 4 viewers on already. Come on, folks. Pick up the pace here. We need more viewers. As I said, this is the inaugural race of Season 2. First time we're getting our feet wet in these old monster mobiles. These things have a nickname. I cannot remember exactly what it is, so if somebody in the chat wants to explain that to me, I'm all eyeballs. All right. Oops. Controller. We're going to be on Turbo Nova for a while so I can pick that thing up. All right, hello chat. Yeah, there's going to be a chat. Yeah, mid-pack is tight. These cars are very closely matched. And Spinny pops out into the lead. The soft tires paying off. You should see them start to go off around lap 4 a little bit. By the time lap 5 or 6 rolls around, we're going to be looking at tire changes. Vice goes wide. 360s. Oh, man, almost a 920 there. So he's way back. Weissenberg drops all the way to 9. And here comes Marky B. And Marky B goes past, so Vice goes all the way from front to back in short order. Those medium tires not being kind to him today. Spinning now at about 2.5 seconds in front. Turbo Nova is 2.5 in front of Watt. Klaus close behind. Deep Blue about 2 seconds behind Klaus. And we got a real battle between Archie Scott Brown and Deep Blue. Coming on down to Eau Rouge, side by side, not a great place to be. Side by side, Archie Scott Brown keeps his foot in it. He's not giving up. Pushes him wide. And jumps ahead. Oh no, that was Deep Blue getting through there. Goodness gracious. What a move. Now Matt McGuire's gotten wide. We'll have to serve a penalty. It's also, whatever happened, slid him down quite a bit. So, real good race here from P5 to P7. All right, Marky B up to 8th now. James has dropped all the way back to 9th. I wonder what happened here. Let's go back and find out. So James is all the way back in 9th. We'll try on a replay and see what happened. Nope, too late. We'll get this replay stuff in order momentarily. And I've got one set. All right, Spinny's lost some time. He's lost about a second already. Turbo Nova now in 2nd place. Turbo Nova set a very fast time in practice, only to be beaten by James in the practice of the main lobby. James dropping a 233 and change. But Turbo Nova's dropping 235, no, 234.2, I think is what he posted earlier, which is quite rapid with soft tires. Klaus von Orlock now up to 4th. Matt MacGyver still in 5th, somehow maintaining position after serving that penalty. So bully for him, very well done. We'll have to ask him how he got through that. Usually a half second to get you knocked back. All right, Deep Blue all the way back in 7th now. Marky B in 8th. James has dropped way back to 9th on medium tires, showing some slight signs of wear. Weissenberg also on the mediums. And he dropped way to the back after that horrible spin. All right, Spinny now below a second ahead of Turbo Nova. So Turbo Nova showing that rapidity he had in practice, as his tires, his fronts anywhere, looking about a third of the way worn or more. All right, Kiki Watt, a little bit better on tire wear, not much, but that is quite respectable. And Kiki Watt with a 234.743. Sorry, that's Turbo Nova. 234.967, excuse me. Yeah, I knew he was in 234s, which is a great race pace. Turbo Nova still with the fastest lap, 234.7. He can actually do better when it's on some rear tires. I expect to see those times falling off precipitously in the next lap or so. As will Spinny's. Spinny with a very cool, very shiny livery. He's gone with silver. Looks like a real car color, too. Turbo Nova going with the old John Player special. Advertising cigarettes, shame on you. this make me want one. And Watt in the school bus. Watt has a house full of kids, so imagine that's going to be real life for him. Watt's kids like to play sports, so imagine that's something Watt himself likes to do as well. All of his kids are involved in sports pretty heavily. Good for him. A very involved parent. We always love to see that. Klaus von Orlock slowing down now for his half second. He opted against going into the grass. Maybe that was a wise choice. Archie Scott Brown now in 5th. So he's moving up a little bit. Matt MacGyver drops to 6th. As Archie Scott takes charge, P5 with a bullet-riddled German special. Matt really working on that slipstream. All right, Marky B still comfortably in 8th position, so he's moved up quite a bit. What's happening back here with James? All right, James still trying to find his way back up. He has picked up about 6 seconds since he had that whatever incident he had a couple laps ago. So James has picked up the pace. Great livery. Timeless is his PSN handle. Timeless 39. All right, Vice still way back in last place. Moving about gingerly on those medium tires. All right, back to the front we go. Spinny now. Got a little bit more of a gap from Turbo. Turbo Nova taking a little bit of that fake grass on the inside. Never a good place to be. And he cuts through the chicane pretty cleanly into the hairpin down the this one right here. But it's a nasty little downhill hairpin. This sucker will fool you. You always want to run wide here. This car, though, is surprisingly easy to steer. Maybe it's the massive weight. I don't know. It's got plenty of mechanical adhesion or something. This car is surprisingly easy to turn. Not a lot of pickup, but pretty good high-end grunt. Just an absolutely massive car. All right, Klaus in his Bilstein livery. Stein. Pardon me. Stein. With his name tattooed on the window. Banner. All right, Klaus's tires look terrible. We got 2 cars slowing down now for penalties. Matt has pipped him for 5th place. Now here's Archie Scott Brown right behind him. So these guys have been having a hell of a battle. And you felt, oh, look at that. Oh, somehow in the penalty zone, Archie Scott got right alongside of him. He must have had really good pace going in. Because now he takes charge, grabs 5th. All right, here's Spinny. Now 3.5 seconds. We got our first person in the pits. That's Turbo Nova. So Jeff's in the pits. Service probably going on medium tires. Yes, who knows? Or who knows? He may want to take a long stint on hards. We shall see. All right, school bus gets through the first hairpin. His name escapes me once again. Oh, who we got? Go, Klaus the German! Ah, the Lingua House. Pleasure, sir. Or ma'am. Trying to respond to you. I take it you are one of Klaus's friends. And there are many. So Spinny looking fantastic. Pulling away from Watt, who is no slouch, but his tires are going off quickly. He is riding on oatmeal. Klaus's tires look terrible. Matt MacGyver on the mediums looking swell, as is Archie Scott Brown with only slightly more tire wear. Marky B picks up a half-second penalty. His tires are looking really good. James all the way up to 7th now. Deep Blue with a 1-second penalty, so he gets past Deep Blue. Vice still trying to make his way up the pack after the spin. Turbo Nova now all the way in the back with some brand new softs. So did not opt for a hard tire. I believe Turbo was on mediums anyway. So he has gone to the soft tire trying to pick up the pace a little bit. All right, 6 views, 5 viewers. Come on, you guys. Hop in here. I know this is a last minute thing. I hope it sounds good. All right, Matt MacGyver all the way up to 4th now after the pit cycle by some of the front runners. That was fun. Orlock in 3rd still. Matt, right on his tail. And Archie Scott Brown is sucking Matt MacGyver's exhaust. And we have Spinny and Watt in the pits, and it's about time to start looking knackered. All right, who else is jumping in? We got Klaus jumping into the pits. His tires look terrible. So that should put Matt in 1st, and it does. Matt and Archie Scott Brown jump to 1st on their harder compounds. So the gents doing the long-term strategy seem to be benefiting from it at the moment. James all the way from last to 4th. Deep Blue 5th. Weissenberg 6th. As Spinny and Watt and Klaus wait in the pits to be serviced. Back to the front we go. Archie Scott Brown with a half-second penalty just picked up. What happened, Archie? See if we can pick it. Okay, where's Archie? Nope, he already had it. All right, back we go. Yeah, can't tell where he picked it up. Probably in the chicane. Very easy place to pick up the penalty if you're going too hot. We'd like to welcome our viewers. Really appreciate you joining us at the last possible moment. All right, let's focus on Klaus now. Let's see what he's doing all the way in the back. Klaus went back to medium tires. Or no, sorry, went to medium tires on the softs. Watt goes to mediums, Spinny goes to mediums. So all the front runners that were on softs have now gone to medium tires. And presumably those should last for the remainder of the race, since they'll only have about 13 laps to run. Looks like the softs are good for about 6. If we go any further than that, probably going to run into some roads. So Matt looking real good. Got a big lead in Archie Scott. Now Archie Scott Brown goes way, way to the back. Let's see what happened to Archie. I know he picked up a huge penalty back there somewhere. And he must have jumped off a curb. All right, you guys, I'm going to see if I can post this link to the Discord. So bear with me for a moment. Hello, Strog the Gits. I know Strog is one of Klaus's friends. Go, Klaus, go. Hello, everyone. Well, okay, Strog, it's a fair point, but he dropped it because he had to take a pit stop. His tires were horrible. All right, so just for you, Strog, let's take a look at Klaus. All right, so a 3:04 on his out lap. Or sorry, on his pit in. Let's see how he does on his out lap. Not the same. Got a 2:55 on his out lap. All right, so he should be coming into his own. Tires are good and hot. You got Marky B in the pits now, and Vice Matt MacGyver now with a 4-second lead, but dropping rapidly. And his fuel is about gone, so tires or no, he's coming in. Let's see what happened to Matt. Oh, God, I hope I got this one right. Okay, so here's Matt. He's looking feisty. Oh, man, goes wide there. What I tell you about going in too hot at that chicane. Exactly what happened. And it took him off the track and cost him a lot of time. Still, 2.5-second lead ain't bad. James, the very rapid James, is also about to run out of fuel, and his medium tires are looking about halfway worn. So, not bad on tires, but the fuel is really the challenge here. You could go on some harder compounds, but you're going to pay for it with the fuel. So, don't think anyone's going to be going on softs. That would be absolutely, or excuse me, on hards. It seems to me there's absolutely no reason to do that. All right, so Klaus is up to 8th now, thanks to the pit stops by Markey and Weiss. But here comes Markey trying to make way. Weiss is looking quick. I think he's just getting used to those medium tires, but now that they've heated up, he's looking very sharp. Gotta love that Bilstein livery. What's Mark sporting there? Ah, old Rusty. Nice, Mark. Let's see if he's put anything cheeky on his car. Where's Ted? There's Trail Cam. Okay. Nothing cheeky. It's all good. Oh, and he's got his scruffy top emblem on there. Well done, Mark. Okay, so Mark's on his out lap, as in Spice. We've got James in the pit now. Archie Scott Brown. Matt should be. Yeah, oh my God, Matt is running on fumes. There he goes. Oh, he's gonna have 0 left. Yeah, he's down to 0. Good Lord, that was brave, man. Very brave. And still managed to plug in a 235 plus before he had to go in for service. So well done indeed. So my guess is they are all going on the softs at this point. Interesting strategies all around. So Turbo Nova jumps out into the lead after going way back. Spinny in second. What? In third. Klaus up to 4th. Marky B up to 5th. Sporting those soft tires. James now up to 6th. He's on mediums. They are very fresh since he's on his out lap. Archie Scott Brown on the fresh mediums, coming out of pits. Weiss on the fresh mediums, done with his out lap. Deep Blue with a 3-second penalty for either entering the pits improperly or leaving the pits improperly. I would guess it was the former. That is unfortunate. The 3-second penalties are hard to overcome. That said, Deep Blue is a very, very fast boy. So stay tuned. We'll keep an eye on him for sure. And Matt, thanks to the pit cycle all the way to the back. However, he is on softs. He did not take a full complement of fuel, which I think is a wise choice. To keep that weight down, as there is no reason to overfill the car if you're on soft tires, because you're going to be coming in. It's near out. Okay, Turbo Nova looking at about 3/4 wear on that right front. Keep an eye on that. When it gets down to about the 3/4 worn mark is when you start seeing issues crop up and the lap times begin to really fall off. You can lose probably 2 seconds once you get past that lap, and that's even if you're good. But that said, he is 10 seconds ahead, which is monumental. I'm curious to see what James has in the tank. He's fastest in practice and qualifying. Oh, Spinny goes a little wide. Watt tries to follow him, but makes it through. And that cost Spinny a few tenths. Oh, both of them get through the bus stop nicely, but Spinny has lost a couple of tenths because of going a little wide there on that sweeper. So this little battle back here is really benefiting Turbo Nova. Oh, Klaus and Marky B are in a battle. Both of these boys love a good scrap, so you know these guys are gripping the wheels and white out the move hard. All right, up through Radion. Both of them get through cleanly. It looks like neither one of them has gone wide, so we shouldn't see any penalties there. Now let's see how they get through this chicane. Ooh, look at that. Marky B has got a fastest lap. He can hang on. Definitely gonna get an advantage with that slipstream class. These cars love a slipstream. It still shocks me how well these old clunkers handle. They really like to steer, and you wouldn't expect it from something so heavy and so old. Yeah, both of them looking clean, really carving beautiful lines. Klaus really trying to hang in there on those mediums. Mark on mediums too. He's on softs. Oh, Mark has a huge advantage. So Klaus is going to have to make that car extra fat. Klaus keeping his racing line, but not giving an inch to Mark. Tight into the corner, holding that line steady so Mark can't tuck in there. Takes a lot of curb. Both of them do. Oh yeah, and Mark's trying to find a way. Yeah, Mark's got pace thanks to the slipstream here, and into fourth he goes. Very nicely done. Now this gives Klaus the advantage of the slipstream, even though he is on harder tires. Marky goes wide and around. Oh, all that for nothing as Mark does a 450 right there. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Mark. Okay, get it back on the track, man. You got a 14-second gap. There you go. All right, he's back on. Still in fifth. Still got James on his tail now. 15-second gap has shrunk to 2. As James comes through on hard tires, and Marky B has some front end damage that will heal momentarily, but it is going to affect his steering momentarily. Okay, it's gone. All right. Thank you, self-healing. If that thing had been busted going through this corner, it would have Illusaurus. It would have really been a problem. Here comes Watt on Spinny. Closing that gap bit by bit. Turbo Nova's is still running away with it. And not for long, as his tires are very, very soupy at this point. Yeah, as you can see, his 233.4, which is an outstanding lap, has dropped to a 236.7. So more than 3 seconds lost thanks to tire wear. So no doubt he'll be coming in soon because he will be able to sustain the pace this way. And he has already lost a couple of seconds of his lead. Now Spinny comes hauling down through this big left-hander. Oh, Deep Blue left the room. Why'd you... Oh, Deep Blue, what happened? Unfortunately, we lost one. Now, Turbo Nova is bound to be coming in this lap. Let's see where we have some close racing on the tracks. All right, Klaus. Klaus is all by himself out there in fourth. Very sharp after Marky B's unfortunate tumble. Mark has picked up the pace once again. going to have his hands full with James behind him. Even on mediums, James is going to be rapid. But as soon as Mark's tires really start to fall off, James is liable to have him. Okay, Archer Scott Brown has Vice on his tail. As we come into the bus stop, both of them get through cleanly. Both of them taking a lot of curb, not too much. And both of them looking really good on fuel tires. So they'll be in for the duration. And here comes Marky B. Tires starting to fall off. Most definitely accruing to the advantage of James. This is where you're really going to start to feel it. These fast corners. In the braking zones, especially this one coming up. So let's see how he handles the chicane here. On the brakes. And absolutely James's corner right there. As you can see, they are bumper to bumper, nose to tail. James looking for an inside advantage on this next corner. Couldn't get it there. Trying to get it here on the outside. How's it working out for James? Not so good. He drops back about 5/10. Probably about 1.5 car lengths lost on that gamble. But we're still early in the story. James still with the much better tires. Nose to tail again. Oh, James is relentless. Now this right here where he picks up the slipstream after this right-hander, this should be very telling. If neither one of them goes off, it's a penalty, and they have not, then this should definitely be in James's favor right here. Oh, Mark's taking a little wide. He has to slow down so much. The car gets very slidey in that corner, and he picks up a half second for crossing the white line. And that's going to be that. It's now James, but James goes wide. A little too hot into the chicane, into the bus stop. Does James pick up a half second? He does not. But boy, did it ever slow him down. And now Marky B is trying to find a way around it. He might just have it. Once he gets to the source, let's see if he's able to cut in. No. No, I think James has the advantage there in that corner. Plus, Marky B's tires are shot. And he picks up another half second for fun. Oh no, he already had that one. Excuse me. Okay, Archer Scott Brown. Thanks to that little battle we've had between Mark and James, has tightened things up on those boys. He might be picking a penalty for that one. Let's see. Across the white lines. He did not. Marky B, however, did cross the white lines going up Radion and lost another half second. All right, so here's James. James comfortably in fourth place. Marky B just gobbling up penalties. Archie Scott Brown licking his chops. All right, Weisenberg and Turbo Nova are having a great battle. Sound a little squidgy in my headphones. Not bad. On the stream, I'll bring my volume up just a little bit here so you can hear me. Check, check. Yeah, that's better. Let's see what's going on in the back there. Matt McIver in 9th with Lost Deep Blue. Still 9 on track. Pretty good turnout for today's race. I actually was planning on joining until I saw how horrible I was in qualifying. So, well, might as well do the stream so you don't have to endure my bad race. All right, Turbo Nova right on Vice's tail. Taking advantage of that slipstream. And just picking up 100th by 100th. I'm trying to do an outside move here. This is going to do anything. Could go for the over/under. Does not seem likely, but where it will come into play is downhill after the source. Sorry, Spinny's in the pits. And here comes Turbo Nova. Gets the inside. Round he goes. Oh, Vice gets squirrely. Turbo Nova gets a little wide. I don't see a penalty pop up, so he didn't cross the lines. Good for him. But back goes Vice. Turbo Nova jumps into 5th on those soft tires. Matt MacGyver's getting close to the end of his run. Puts down 2:35.5. Matt's been running a pretty clean race. Okay, back to the front here. We got Klaus all the way up in the 2nd. James in 3rd, as he also gets around Archie Scott Brown. He must have had something happen. All those bullet holes may be slowing him down. So Klaus now is 6 seconds ahead of James in 2nd. James is ticking down the time, closing that space. Archie Scott Brown trying to find some way to catch him. He won't have the advantage of the slip. Once they get out of the chicane and around this big curve, it's when Archie Scott Brown is going to want to get closer. And he is falling back. So no slipstream for you, Archie Scott Brown. So Turbo Nova in 5th, Vice in 6th. As Turbo Nova pulls away, Matt MacGyver in 7th. Spinny in 8th place. Spinny was leading the race for a good bit. He is now on the soft tires to finish things out. We got Watt in the pit. He's going to be coming off these medium tires, which are pretty well worn. Not shot exactly, but he's out of fuels. He'll be going out on softs, no doubt. Klaus von Orlock goes from 2nd to 3rd as he has to be stuck in the pits for the moment. That puts James up in 1st. Archie Scott in 2nd. I don't think I would call it a surprise that James has gone to the front. But I will say I wasn't expecting it. Heading up Radion. Pace is dropping a little bit. Archie Scott Brown gets through very quickly. Really giving it the beans. Archie Scott Brown, I think he has 1 lap left in him, and probably this lap before he has to go in and refuel. James is looking good on fuel. Probably going to be able to finish out the race on what he has. Turbo Nova comes out on the softs. Plenty of gas to get into the race. So Turbo Nova is definitely in the hunt. Archie Scott Brown's no doubt going to be coming in, so he's not long for 2nd place. Watt, however, is on fresh softs, just now doing his outlap with I would say a full complement of fuel, but enough to get him through. Spinny looking good, and his tires are warmed up. So expect him to start making up some of that gap. We have Klaus out now on his outlap on soft tires. 2/3 fuel. Marky B, fresh mediums and enough fuel to get him to the finish line. Weissenberg, soft tire, same situation. All right, so James is out in front now. This is going to be interesting to see how long that fuel lasts. I keep an eye on that fuel number. James with a 2.5 second lead over Archie Scott Brown, who will be coming in this time, unless he goes to full fuel savings. So I think those tires are a little squidgy on them. There's an awful lot of squeal. All right, coming in. He is coming in. All right, well that's that. Oh, James is coming in. There's a shock. Now with 12 liters of fuel, that's not likely to get him through 4 laps. So I guess it was his only alternative. That will put Turbo Nova into the front. Will he be able to finish on those soft tires with any kind of pace is the question. All right, Spinney is in 5th, but he's coming up fast. He's already in 3rd. Watt is now in 2nd. So all 3 of these drivers are on soft tires and enough fuel to finish the race. The deal is Spinney and Watt have very new tires, and Turbo Nova does not. With a 9-second lead, that's probably a safe place to be. So what we're going to have to see is how much of his pace drops off in the next 3 laps. And will it be enough for these 2 to catch him? Ooh, Spinney puts down a purple sector. Nicely done. James now 13 seconds back. 4th, Archie Scott. About 7.5 back. And this is putting Klaus von Orlock in good position to make a run on 5th. And he is bringing it with a purple sector. Klaus has good race pace, 2:35.7. Ooh, boy, that is really close to getting a penalty. He got it. Oh, did go off into the green. So that will cost him. So Klaus, make sure you put 2 of your wheels into the grass in the penalty zone. Marky B is now down to 7th. Since he pitted, he's been able to put down a 2:35.7 on medium tires, which is quite good. 2:35.7 is what some of the soft tires are getting. All right, James will be finishing up his out lap in about 1.5 kilometers. All right, Spinney's tires about a quarter off. Watt's tires about the same. Watt's being a little bit nicer to his tires. Spinney's really chewing his up. So Spinney is definitely pushing much harder. Turbo Nova being surprisingly kind to those tires. I think Turbo Nova knows, Jeff knows, that he doesn't really have to push that hard. That's hardly a surmountable lead. But notice the times he's been putting down since he's gone on softs. 2:33.6. He already has the fastest lap of the race, which he set back toward the beginning. But look at that, 2:33.6 on lap 14. He has only fallen off. Well, he's put up 2 identical laps in 15 and 16. And it was a 2:33.6. So he hasn't even lost a second in 3 laps. So very well done. As you can see, as he goes around this tight hairpin, you don't hear any tire squeal. So he's really thinking about keeping those tires fresh. which he absolutely has to do if he's going to make it to the end. And as you can see, the time is ticking down on Turbo Nova's lead, but not substantially. Watts at a 2:33.7 on his last race, his fastest lap of the race. Spinny at 2:33.5, so Spinny's even a little faster than Watt. And 2:33.5 is dangerously close to the fastest lap of the race. Doubtful he will be able to recreate that lap given the condition of his tires, but he does have low fuel amounts, so who knows? He can do it. Is he going to get a penalty there? I think he's safe. Think Spinny's safe, and he is. Goes through Paul, what's his name? Unscathed. Sorry, my French is terrible. Oh, Turbo Nova. He's really feeling those tires now. He jumped that curb badly. Yeah, and he's 2.2 seconds off his pace. Still, such a huge lead. All right, here comes Watt, and Spinny's dropped way back. What has happened to my boy? Let's see if we can get a look at the replay. He's gone into the wall. Oh, yeah. Yep, you can see the front end damage. So that cooked him. That cooked him. He won't be getting there first. He's going to be lucky to hang on to third. As James is coming up on soft tires, and some really good looking soft tires. Still, 4 seconds in 2 laps. Tough one. He'd have to hope for something of a miracle. He's going to get on the podium. Spinny's definitely going to have his head down. Turbo Nova, 6.7 second lead. He's actually building it. As Watt's tires are starting to fall off because he's pushing so hard. This is a huge advantage Jeff has. Jeff can take it relatively easy. He doesn't have to push that hard. Whereas Watt has to push as hard as possible and is just ripping his tires to shreds. Okay, down to the back we go. Klaus, picks up a half second. What do you do? Let's get a look. What you do, Klaus? Right there. He jumps the white line into the curbs. Yes, that's unfortunate. Still 6th place, not bad. Matt MacGyver all the way to the back. This is a surprise. See, his fastest lap of 2:34.4 is quite a good lap. Marky B still in 8th and has been putting down some pretty good numbers. Haven't had too many mishaps. Weissenberg 2:33.8 on lap 16. Well done. Goes a little wide there, but no penalty. All right, Klaus, once he gets through this series, he's going to have to serve that half second. But he has a lot of space between himself and Weiss. So there he serves it. Oh, sorry, not there. Here it comes. Right here. And not really losing much time. All right, back to the front. We are on the final lap. Turbo Nova with a 6.3 second lead. Watt just coming around La Source. Huge gap between the two. Oh my goodness, those tires are gone. You could hear him squealing up over the big curb. Yeah, Watt not faring a whole lot better. If you look at the tire wear, they're almost identical. And Watt's tires, I think, are 3 laps newer. That's how hard he's been pushing. And Spinny now 12 seconds back, almost the same condition. Not quite as much tire wear. I think Spinny's decided after that turn into the wall that he may as well just be glad to hold on to 3rd place. Here comes James, 4th place. not putting up too much of a fight with that big of a gap. All right, so all Jeff has to do is get around this track cleanly. He doesn't have to push. He's putting down 235/8, which for him are not great, but for the condition of those tires, very respectable. All he has to do is run a clean lap. Watt, in the meantime, is just giving it the beans. And just pulling away from Spinny. He was pushing as hard as he can. Back to the front we go. Turbo Nova coming out of that big sweeper into another big sweeper. Let's see how he does in the kink here. This can really make you slide. All right, so he takes it nice and wide. Oh, that car wants to go out onto the green so badly, but he maintains it. And while he has lost significant time, it's not enough to take away that massive lead that he holds. Into the bus stop and out. Flash of the lights and across the lines. Congratulations, Jeff. Well done. Great race. Here comes Watt in second. Excellent result for you. Spinny, 17.5 seconds behind. So good Lord, Turbo Nova was really pushing. And Spinny comes in third for your final podium spot. Not far behind is James in fourth. So our pole sitter drops back about 3 spots. Still a great result. Here comes Archie Scott Brown after experiencing some significant difficulties in the race. Still brings it up to 5th. Here comes Klaus. Pulls that beast up into 6th. Vice with a flash of the lights. Well done, sir. Jumps into 6th over Turbo Nova, who had a penalty. And I think he had a penalty. No, something happened. Marky B in 7th. Well done, sir. So Turbo Nova all the way to the back. Very surprising given his speed, but well done, gentlemen. Great race. And to Watt goes the victory. So, what do we have here? What did I just see? Hang on. All right. Give me a moment here. Yeah, Turbo Nova got a penalty. It threw him all the way to the back. Oh my God. I was thinking, why in the hell did he run all the way to the back? Oh, something happened. Oh, Turbo Nova didn't do his tire change. Oh, no wonder he didn't. Oh, that's too bad. You ran a great race, Turbo. Oh my God. I was looking at this go, why is Watt in the lead? Oh, okay, so Watt takes the victory. Even though Turbo Nova won the race, he did not change tires. All right, so this may end up with a small bit of controversy. We'll see how things shake out in the Discord. Anyway, for all the folks who decided to join us on the stream, really appreciate it. It was a last-minute thing, no formal setup here, so you get what you get. Anyway, folks, we're glad you could join us. For all of us at Rob's Classic Racing League, we just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for joining up. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe if you're in the mood, and join us on Discord. The Discord and YouTube links are right up here in the stream at the top. So point your little camera phone to that thing and get on track with us. Do it soon. All right, everybody from Rob's Classic Racing League, I want to wish you a great evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is where you are, and we will see you soon. Ta-ta.